Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Abby94, and I'm back at it again with the back at it again with the recap. You already know what's good. You already know what's popping 10. We have made it to week 2, and you already know I have thoughts, so stay tuned. All right, happy week 2, y'all. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Trying to get this video out as quick as possible. So if you appreciate my efforts, please leave a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And leave a comment because it's so appreciated. Speaking of appreciated comments, I think that every week I'm going to try to highlight, you know, cool comments or subscribers who I feel like show love consistently and who are just super cool in these comments. I really do read them. I appreciate them. So first and foremost, I'm going to highlight a subscriber of mine. Her name is Sonia Roche Duncan. Hey, Sonia, you always showing love, leaving comments. You know, you subscribed a little while back and you are much appreciated. And for the comment, I'm going to highlight Miss Vogue 1306. She said on my last week recap, love the recap, girl, keep it up, love from Greece. Hey Greece, and hey Vogue. Leave your real name, girl, so I can give you a proper shout out. But thank you so much to both of y'all for supporting. Hope you're bringing your friends. I hope you're sharing. And for all y'all, if you want to be featured, you got to leave a comment. You see what I'm saying? Stop playing. Comment, like, and subscribe. Show some love. Thank you. Thank you. Now, let's get into this recap. The episode starts, and the women are all just really chilling, you know, reflecting on what happened in night 1. And it looks like there's a good vibe in the house. Like, they seem to all be getting along. Y'all know that shit ain't gonna stay like that. And just as I was thinking that, Chris Harrison walks in, you know, says good morning to all the ladies. Looked like he just woke up. Shirt wasn't even ironed, but that's just the tea. No shade. So he says, you know, good morning. He's like, oh, wow, you guys all seem to be getting along. But I know that. I know, you know, from my own personal history, that's not going to stay the case. So just what I thought. So he mentions that there's going to be a date, a one-on-one, and they're all like super excited, like, who is it going to be? Where's the date card? Give me the tea. Chris Harrison, he always holding out. He know what he's doing. And so he's like, okay, I have a date card, and just puts it on the table and parlays his way out. And so the girls are super excited at this point. This is kind of going to be, you know, putting the line in the sand of who has the eyes of Arie, who he wants to take on the first one-on-one date. As we've known from past seasons, that can be very significant in kind of like how far they go. I think last season Vanessa had the first one-on-one date and we saw that she won. So this is kind of huge for like purposes of predictions. Like whoever he picks at this point is going to be super imperative in this game. And so we open up the card and it says like, just hold on, Arie, and it's addressed to baacck. Now, if y'all remember, I mentioned baacck. She came out last week and she did the proposal entrance. And I said, you know, I didn't have any problem with it. And so in my mind, she didn't stick out that much. So I'm thinking to myself, who is this girl? Why did she get the first one-on-one date? I didn't see much beside what some thought was an awkward entrance. And me, I just thought it was cool. So for her to get this first date, I was definitely like, okay, maybe I need to watch out for her. And so anyway, he comes on a motorcycle, he picks her up, and they go and they ride off while the girls all watch in anger and jealousy. And I just live. I live. So they ride off into the sunset, and then they get to this like beauty shop, a boutique, I would say, and they, you know, start looking around the shop, and Arie's, you know, kind of touching her, doing the little acts, you know, the little taps and touches here and there. And I'm just like, okay, didn't know y'all had it like that, but back up. And then some like designer comes out. I think her name was Rachel Zoe, Rachel Roy, Rachel McAdams. Don't know who the heck she is, but the way they talked about her, you would think she was freaking, I don't know, some Givenchy, some Balenciaga, somebody, but apparently she's a well-known celeb designer or stylist or somebody. She comes out with a cart of clothes, and basically it's gonna be a try-on session for baacck. And I'm just like, I guess that's exciting, sis. Don't nobody know who this lady is. No tea, no shade, but shade. We don't know you. Or am I wrong? Do y'all know who Rachel, what's her name again? Rachel Zoe. Do y'all know who that is? I'm just saying, ABCU could have done better. If y'all would have came through with the Christian Lubitz, you know, something, even Christian Siriano, like something, give me something. But anyway, that's beside the point. She comes out with a rack full of sparkly ass dresses, many of which were ugly as hell, but that is just my personal opinion. baacck starts trying on dresses for Arie. And of course, Arie, ever so thoughtful, so witty, so, you know, quick with words and good with words. Every time she came out, oh, you look cute. Oh, that's a nice dress. I like that one. I'm like, boy, shut up. Ooh, this guy is so like cookie cutter. He literally, you could tell he doesn't know what to do with himself. He literally is just, he's not falling in line yet. And we're on episode. It's too early in this recap for me to get like this. So she starts trying on the dresses. He starts complimenting how she looks. Oh, you cute. It's pretty. Your body looks great. I'm just like, okay, yeah, half of them were ugly as hell. You can find them in your local like swap meet or something. And maybe 1 out of 2, there was one with rhinestones. It was black and had rhinestones around like her silhouette. And I thought that was like the only pretty one on that cart. But lo and behold, the designer comes back out and she says, you know, or maybe Arie tells baacck like, oh, you know, you like these dresses, right? They're all yours. Normally this would be so exciting because this is a designer. Oh, we love it. But baacck wasn't feeling it. baacck was like, first of all, when the lady came out, she was like, oh, you know, like the lady's looking like me, the famous designer. And she's just like, oh, you. baacck didn't know who she was. Then when the lady said Rachel Zoe, she was like, Rachel, oh my God, I love your work. I love your clothes. I'm just like, sis. Yeah, okay. But anyway, so they get dressed and then he brings out this like box and then takes her outside and gets on his knee again. It's like, okay, foreshadowing maybe? Why are they always on their knees with each other? Like, anyway, so like he opens the box, there's some sparkly lubes in it. So I'm like, okay, this is turning into like the Cinderella date like they did on Crystal's season. It's quickly turning into one of those. So he pulls out the shoes and then they go back inside and he says, oh, you know, I have one more surprise for you. And it's jewelry. I'm like, okay, she's getting the princess date. This is supposed to be the fairy tale romantic date. You know, the lubes would have done it for me, but Rachel Zoe dresses, sis, it was a no. So, you know, then they're outside, they're by a pool for whatever reason. They're by a pool, they're having a conversation, and he kind of explains that I chose you for this date because I felt like on night 1 you reminded me most of myself when I came into this. Basically saying she didn't come in with any ulterior motive. She didn't seem to be there for like fame or like furthering herself. She really just came like curious, like maybe I could find someone, maybe I can fall in love, and if I did, it would be cool, and if I don't, you know, whatever. And so that's kind of his thought process for picking her. And he said she just seems like a really homely, humble, like humble beginnings, grassroots. And that's why he chose her for this date. And I was like, okay, that finally you're bringing something to the table, Arie. Thank you. And then she opens up and kind of talks to him about family, and she explains that, you know, she's very guarded and it's very hard for her to open up a 7-year relationship with her ex-boyfriend. And Arie asked her, okay, why were you in a relationship for 7 years? And, you know, what kind of happened there? She said, I was with him because he really got me through a difficult time. My dad passed away from brain cancer. It's a really hard time in my life, and he really helped me get through that. So that's kind of when that relationship was, you know, in the thick of it. And he's like, you know, he's really, I think, getting to know her, getting to see kind of what makes her who she is. And I think it'll be interesting to see where their relationship goes. They break off. Instead of them, you know, going to their hotel to get ready, she actually takes all of her goods home. Obviously, she comes in with her arms full of clothes, Christian lube. She got jewelry. You know, they petty for that because they knew all the girls was going to be big mad, right? So she walks in the house, arms full of clothing, and they're just like, what are those Louboutins? I told y'all they didn't see no Rachel Zoe. They saw those clothes. They was like, who? But so they started, what are you doing? Where are you going? You know, pressing her for information. And she's just like, oh, I had such a magical day. But the date is not over. We switch to the night part, and he takes her to dinner. They have more conversation. They vibe more and talk more about family and, you know, have a kiss. Here is where I'm kind of reading chemistry. This is the first time I'm seeing them really have that, like, spark. For me, it's been very easygoing and natural between the two of them. As far as that electricity, I was not getting that. And I feel like that spark is, if it's there, it's simmering. And it could be a good thing for actually growing a very natural relationship at a really good pace for this show, of course. But for me, as far as right off the bat spark, I did not feel it all the way with them. I thought it was very sweet and endearing, but it wasn't like, whoo, yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't that. And the date goes well, and baacck gets a rose. So it looks like Becca's gonna be around for a while, and we'll see how I feel about it. So that was baacck. Then we are back in the house, and the women are obviously chilling. They seem to be getting along quite well. And we get another date card, and the date card says that Crystal is going to be getting a date. Wow, are we excited. What we know of Crystal is that she's soft-spoken, that, you know, she has, you know, some family issues, and we definitely uncover that in the date. Arie picks her up, and they actually fly to Scottsdale, Arizona. Where do they land? His place. What do they do? Watch home videos of his life as a kid. Okay, y'all. Is it me or is that weird? Like, you couldn't figure out anything else to do with your, like, someone you're trying to woo, someone you're trying to impress, someone you want to get to know. You couldn't think of anything else to do on your first date with her but to take her to your house to watch America's Funniest Home Videos? Like, sir, like, what the hell is wrong? Oh, Jesus, I told y'all I'm trying. But, like, it would have been a cute date for me had they had, like, more time before that. Like, this would have been a cute third date. Like, oh, you know, like, I'm really feeling serious about you. I really like you. I want you to come see these personal moments. But it felt so personal right off the bat. And I was just like, this too much. This too much. She seemed to really like it. They were laughing at him as a kid, you know, joking about it. And then once they're done with that, you know, they're all huddled up on the couch, and he tells her, yeah, we're actually gonna go to see my parents, like, right now. And she's just like, wait, what? What'd you say? What'd you say? You said what? We going to see who? I know she was thinking, damn it, I should have worn my good outfit today. I should do my hair. My makeup could have been so much better than this. This boy, he got me fucked up. How he gonna, I know she was thinking all of that because, yo, who wants to, like, be bombarded with meeting the parents? Like, what? And so she just kind of goes with it. She's just like, I didn't even bring anything. I don't even have flowers for them. And he's like, oh, it's okay. He's like, they met so many before. Like, girl, don't even trip. Like, that's what I heard. And so they get to the parents' house. And thankfully, the parents are super warm. The mom is just like, oh, you know, she has a very thick accent. I'm not sure where she's from, but she's just like, oh, me and my husband have been married for 25 or 35 years. We have 2 boys. She was very nice. She wasn't like pressing her, which is good, because that would have been really, 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 really hard to deal with on the first day. Like, I would have felt so bad for Crystal. But she was just kind of, you know, they kept it very easy. They didn't ask her too many hard questions. Arie just kind of introduced how he felt about her on the first night. He kind of recollected and told his parents that, you know, she really calmed me down. And I think they were really, 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 really feeling that somebody like that was in the house for him. So that definitely, you know, initially I thought it was going to be an absolute train wreck, but it seemed like the parents liked her. So that was probably some bonus points for Crystal, because when she went with the parents, y'all know how that goes. So then they actually go and have dinner, and up until this point, we know that Crystal is really worried about how she's going to kind of tell Arie about her past and her family life. She feels like, you know, because she didn't have like the traditional 2-parent household who loved and adored and cared for her, and because she has a brother who's homeless, that maybe she's going to be seen as less than. And thankfully that's not the case. She opens up to Arie about her family life, how her mom was basically a single mom and she did not feel like her mom showed her love, and so in a sense she didn't really have parents. And then she said subsequently she kind of had to take care of her younger brother, and within the last 2 years she got a phone call, went to the hospital, he was not doing well, and this is when she found out that her brother had been homeless and living in, you know, California for the past 9 months. So she really did kind of open up, kind of like told everything. And I think that's, again, very admirable. It takes a lot to do that on the first date, but it seems like, you know, he introduced her to parents, so whatever. I think that really helped her case, being that open with him, because I think he really did start to look at her more deeply. And I think I was starting to kind of feel like a growing love there, y'all. To be honest, I think he was really, really feeling her. He was definitely feeling it. And you could tell he just confirmed everything that she was, you know, he reassured her and said that, why would I ever judge you because of your family? That has nothing to do with you. I just think that how much you love people and how hard you love and how great you are really shows through. And I do not judge you for any of it. And I was just like, that is so beautiful. So beautiful. So I think that was a moment, and I was very pleased with how that went. So they kind of, you know, make out after that. It's like once she got that out of the way, they was all over each other. And he surprises her and says, the date is not over. We have one more thing to do. And some artist comes and they start dancing, doing the little cliche Bachelor thing, and the date is over. So it looks like all the Crystal haters gonna have to see her a little longer, because sis gets a rose. Sis gets snatches, said Rose. So then back at the house, we see a number of the ladies are now, the Bachelor pressure is starting to wear thin on them. We see Bibiana, she's complaining about not getting time and how she needs time, how she needs to be on this group date. We see a bunch of the ladies kind of mentioning how they need to be on the group date. There's only this last date left and they cannot be left behind, because that would suck being in week 2 with no time. The date cards come, and there was a few people who did not make the cut. The only ones I can remember at the moment would be the redhead, whose name I cannot recall, and Ashley, who happens to be one of our Black girls. So we get to the date. We see a bunch of mud. We see a bunch of tow-up cars, and I'm wondering what the hell is going on here. Is this going to be Monster Jam? Is this ATVing? Is this crazy people driving with cars? Which one did y'all pick? I hope you picked C, because that's exactly what this was. So they get to this mud rink. There's a bunch of tow-up cars. Chris Harrison is standing behind an announcer booth. So you know this is about to be some shit. He starts explaining that the women are going to get into these said tow-up cars. They're going to run into each other as if they're bumper cars. These are real cars, y'all. Real cars. But they're going to ride around and drive them as if they're bumper cars. And the whole purpose of the game is you want to run into people hard enough to stop their engine. Yeah, stop their engine. This is real. So he explains that Arie will be playing as well. And whoever wins, obviously, wins bragging rights and hopefully more time with Arie. So they get, you know, they're getting ready to get suited up. And who's crying in the corner? Annalise. Annalise is having a full-blown meltdown talking about, I'm like so afraid of bumper cars. Like when I was a kid, I was in the middle of the break and people just started hitting me all at once. And I haven't been the same since. Anyone looking at me? Annalise! Sis, stop it. Stop it. Annalise is freaking out. She's crying, reliving a childhood horror story. And as she's talking about this, they're playing these clips of like a little girl in the middle of a boat. I'm like, where do y'all be getting these videos from? I'm like, I know that's not Annalise as a kid, first of all, because that's just embarrassing. And second of all, I'm like, whose kid did y'all violate to get this footage? Like, leave the baby alone. Like, she was enjoying her bumper cars. But they get clips of like a little girl stuck in the middle of a bumper car rink. I thought it was so funny. Oh my gosh. But anyway, Arie comes over to console Annalise. And, you know, in true race car driver fashion, he wasn't going to let her give up. He was just like, okay, like, he was trying to be very understanding. He was like, okay, you're going to have a helmet. You know, you're going to have referees. You're going to have people to protect you. Like, it'll be okay. So just go with the flow. Don't freak out, you know. Stop overreacting. This is even more intense than bumper cars. He didn't tell her that, but like, bumper cars, sis. Really? So the race starts and we have Tia, we have Cien, we have Bibiana, we have Brittany T, just an array of the women, and they are going after it. They are going after Arie. They're mostly going after each other. And between bumps and bruises, Arie gets knocked out. So he's also not as good as driving as being the Bachelor. You can't be bad at everything, Arie. Pick a struggle. So he gets X'd out by Brittany, who rams into his ass, and she's ramming into everyone at this point, getting so many people out, and in the midst of it, someone gets her out. So she's out, and then all of a sudden, we're down to two. It's Tia and it's Cien. They're going head-to-head, hardcore, but Cien gives her one to the front. She rams her backside of her car into the front of Tia's car, and her engine shuts off. Tia's out of the game, and Cien has won the crown. Yes, girl. Slay for her, slay. I'm so excited for her when she won. And what is she? She won like a humble queen that she is. She just got out of her car, like she just like walked across the street or something. She didn't even gloat or anything. So she gets out. They give her a trophy. She's standing on a platform like, woo, I just won, you little jizz, like, with me. And then they make her drink milk. And she accepts her victory. And we fast forward to the cocktail party. At the cocktail party is where things get very interesting. We learned that Brittany T injured herself in the race, so she will not be a part of the cocktail party. And damn, girl, it's okay. You holding down the fort. You did good things. You knocked some bitches out. I'm not mad at you. Just feel better, okay? Feel better. Thanks. So, first person to steal Arie, who do y'all think? Your homegirl, Chelsea. She pulls him up to the balcony and starts talking to him and basically has been you know, has said that this has been weighing on her heart. She needed to really tell him, you know, he mentioned that she was very mysterious, and that's why he gave her the first impression rose. He wanted to get to know her more. So she seizes this opportunity to kind of tell him that, you know, the reason why I was so mysterious is because I have a man in my life, my 3-year-old son. And Arie takes it relatively well. He opens up and says, I've dated single mothers before. 2 of my ex-girlfriends had kids, a kid or kids, and this is nothing new to me, and I'm not scared by that at all. And it's like, whoosah for Chelsea, because that's the weight that's been holding her down. And I think that's what's been really pushing her to kind of steal time from these other women. She pretty much chilled out this episode, and she didn't rub too many people the wrong way, I don't think. And she didn't rub me the wrong way. So I think Chelsea, you know, villain style, her villain, you know, power is going down this episode. And, you know, once that happens, somebody else's is rising. So you got to kind of figure out what's going on here. Who are we going to be big mad with this episode? So we flash back to the rest of the girls, and they're talking, and we see Bibiana is freaking out. She's upset that she hasn't talked to him. She's upset that Chelsea pulled him away first. All of the girls are, you know, chattering about that, but Bibiana is really bursting at the seams. She cannot handle it. She cannot handle not talking to him. She cannot handle the fact that they haven't had their private moment. She does not feel like she has a solidified connection, and she is panicking. She is walking off from the girls. She is just giving them all of the neck rolls. And, you know, I want to say I relate to her, but I can't. I want to say I can understand her, and I could see why she would be frustrated, but I would have liked for her to calm down a little bit on this date. Just let her time come and, you know, reassess the situation. But she continues to freak out. Some of the girls encourage her, and some of them are just kind of like, we're all in the same boat, sis, so enjoy it. Like, so more people get time. We then see he pulls Cien upstairs. He comments on how well he thinks she did on the challenge, how, you know, excited he is to be with her, and how, you know, he's just so intrigued how worldly she is. And she just kind of explains her background. She said she feels like they had a connection, but he doesn't necessarily know where she's coming from or what's her background. And she explains that, you know, she went to Yale, but she's originally from Long Beach, California, and went to Yale for college. And he was very impressed by that. Like, who wouldn't be that impressed? Like, you know what kind of dime piece he got there? You better not fuck this up, Arie. Don't do it. Don't do it. So she just starts, you know, I like to call it humble bragging about, you know, I went to Yale, you know, I was like chilling. And then after that, I was like saving all of the world, but, you know, no big deal or anything. Like, she was being very humble about it, telling him about her background. And you could tell he was just so enamored. He was just like thinking, how did I get such a smart girl? Like, how did they cast her for me? Like, me, this plain guy with nothing to offer, how did I get her? And I'm thinking the same thing. So oh man. So they have that moment, and, you know, we even get a good quote of him saying, like, when I barely have a high school diploma and I used to work at Pizza Hut, how was Cien here for me? Like, wow. So they have a good little talk, and then of course he leans in for the kiss, and I was just like, oh, Cien, you took one for the team, girl. Thanks. Put on for your team, girl. Oh, thank you. Then we see our third girl that gets time is my girl, Becca. Becca with the pixie cut, y'all. He pulls her aside, and their energy is instantly explosive. They're talking. I mean, I don't even remember what they talked about. All I know is he went in for a kiss with her, and oh my God, when I tell you, fireworks. First of all, he kisses really weird. He's like he keeps like But when I tell you that I actually was like feeling it with them two, he was all on. I mean, his hand was all in her hair, like moving her up and down, and she was into it. And I just love Becca because you could tell that she's the type of person who doesn't even have to do too much. And I think her approach is really working. Like, she really wasn't trying to like overly like make him feel confident or like make him feel secure. She just being herself, and she just literally is just like, I'm here, I'm gonna do, you know, what I feel like I want to do, and if you like it, cool. That, I think, is what's really attracting him to her. Her energy. She just does her own thing. She does it her own way. She doesn't even like no drama, no nothing. That kiss. Becca, girl, you might make it. I might make it on your team. Like, I'm real close, girl. If you keep impressing me like this, I'm gonna put you in my top 2. Stop playing, Becca. Stop playing. You know you're gonna make these girls big mad. They have a great talk, and obviously he talks to some of the other girls that we don't even know their names, and they, of course, speed on right on by them, and we get to the point where he's gonna offer the group date rose. Starts it by saying, okay, you know, it's been a great day and blah, 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 blah. And he goes, Chelsea. And everyone's like, deja vu, deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. He's like, I just want to thank you for opening up. And like, I just think our talk was really amazing. And it definitely progressed our relationship. But then he takes it a step further. Instead of being boring, he mentions another name and he says, and Cien, I just feel like you're so impressive. Just, you know, on top of you, all of your background, you won the challenge today, and I'm just so impressed with you. Like, so for that reason, I'm gonna give you the rose. And I'm just like, yes, Team Cien, Team Cien. So Cien gets that rose, and Chelsea is big mad, big mad. I don't even hate the girl. I just think it's funny because they try to make her the villain, and now they trying to ease up off of her, and she really was upset about not getting that rose. Like, better luck next time. So the date is over, the women go back home, and now we start to see a lot of the girls who didn't get time are very panicked. We see Ashley, who's kind of mentioning, like, I don't even know, I haven't talked to the guy since night 1, so I don't know how this is going to go down. I don't even know how this rose is going to happen. She's definitely feeling a bit bothered, and so we have the cocktail party. At this cocktail party, the ladies who are secure, obviously we have Becca K from the first date, we have Crystal from the second date, and we have Cien from the group date rose. And the rest of the ladies have, I would say, feel very confident. Some of the ladies like Becca, who got some more time with him, and they were just making out on the front steps. And he just continues to say, you know, they continue to have conversations about how they felt when they first met each other. He says that when he saw her, he didn't think that she would like him. And she was just like, what? And I was just like, girl, stop playing. You know he right. You know he right. Stop it. Then she was like, what? Like, I don't even know. I didn't think that I would be your type. And he's just like, you're crazy. And I was just like, they are so mad cute. Like, as much as I don't like this guy for her, I love her enough to like ship this for the point of this show. Like, oh, they're so cute. And then we are starting to see some of the other ladies unravel. Again, Bibiana is freaking out. She is freaking out because she didn't get time on the date, and now she's trying to get time with him at this cocktail party, and she feels like people are bumping her. She can't get to him, and she's just panicking. But she finally gets to him. He asks her, where do you want to go? She says, let's go to the front where we have some privacy. They sit down. The conversation was kind of dry. Anyway, I'm like, this the time you've been crying about, girl? Like, come on, come through with the questions. He was even like, do you have anything to ask me? Again, Arie can't lead for anything, needs all of the guidance in the world. And she starts to come up with a question, and then Crystal, knock, 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 knocks on the door, is like, can I steal him? Now, this is Crystal's second time doing this at the cocktail party. And to be honest, I could understand why Bibiana would be super annoyed and frustrated with her, because it's like, boo, you got a rose. Like, you got it. You good. You unlocked. Like, he understands where you are. And so I think that really annoyed Bibiana. And she goes back into the house and tells the other girls what happened. And of course, the little, you know, girls who want to hate Crystal come together, and they're just like, that was so rude. Ugh. And they're talking about her and she's not there, obviously. Like, come on now. And finally Crystal comes back, and Bibiana she couldn't do it. Crystal tries to say, hey girl, hey sis, what's up? And Bibiana was looking at her like, girl, don't talk to me, we ain't cool. And she told her, she was just like, I think that's not cool. I think you put a target on your back. I think nobody in this house is going to like you. None of us are going to respect your time. Like, she just dragging her. A good old just drag session. And the girl was just like, I didn't mean to. She was like, if you talk to me in that stupid voice again, that little fake that voice, I'm done with you. Wow. That was funny. And then she just continues to drag her, and then she gets up and she says, mic drop. I was like, okay, Bibiana. They ain't even give you no sound effects. Like, tell ABC to stop playing with you. So she leaves, and she's obviously visibly still frustrated, and it's looking like we don't know what's going to happen with this rose ceremony. Is it going to work out for Bibiana, or are her fears going to come to pass? We're just going to have to wait and see. So we get lined up for this rose ceremony. A bunch of ladies were called and a few were not. And in this few were one girl, a redhead that I still do not know her name. The second being one of our black girls, Lauren G. She didn't make an impression this episode. She had no camera time, and it was disheartening to see, but I didn't make a personal connection to her, so I'm sorry, sis. Good luck. You do not need this man. I promise you will be good. Then we have our third being Jenny from Chicago. I think I mentioned last week that she left no impression. I do not remember her at all, but she was really upset. Instead of, you know, doing the little polite thing where you walk up to the lead and you say, oh, it was so good to meet you. She said, I'm not finessing. I'm not doing that. She said she was so mad. She was crying, and she just bypassed him and walked out. And of course, he felt the need to run after her. I was just like, okay, like, why? And he was just like, I'm so sorry. Like, and she's just like, can you tell me why? Can you tell me why? And he was just like, to be honest, I just didn't see it with you. Like, I just don't think it's a match. And she was just like, you know what? I'm not even mad about you. Like, I'm not even mad about you. I'm mad that I'm leaving my friends. Like, I feel so rejected. I was just like, Arie, you gonna let this girl come for you like this? She just told you she is not here for you. She's mad because she's leaving the show and her flat tummy tea endorsement behind. Girl. She a savage for that. Arie didn't say anything either. He was just like, oh, I know, I'm sorry. I'm just like, Arie, grow a backbone. Stop it. So those are the three ladies that went home in hilarious fashion. Arie did absolutely nothing again this episode. And we're continuously seeing kind of who's developing. I think that I have a top three. One being probably baacck, even though I see absolutely no chemistry so far. The second being Crystal, even though she rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I think that they're trying to make her into the villain potentially, but she definitely has a good shot. And the third being Becca. Oh, wait. No, I have four. The third being Becca because they have an insane chemistry, and I don't even think her age is going to matter because we know that this man looked like he dated way younger than that. And the fourth being my girl CN, of course. Like, y'all already know what's good. Team CN in the building. Hashtag Team CN. So, that's my week 2 recap. Y'all already know who I got in my top 4. If you messing with this top 4, please leave it in the comments below. Tell me who you're rooting for. Tell me what squad you got. Y'all already know my thoughts. If you want to see me and keep seeing me next week, y'all gotta like, comment, subscribe, Turn those notifications on and tell your friends. Share it, share it, share it. Share the love, share the love, share the love, share the love. Black girl who watches The Bachelor, y'all already know. Show me some love, show me some support. And if you love these, leave a comment down below. And until next time, y'all be good now, okay? Okay, bye.